Order. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that pursuant to the provision of Article 152(6) of the Constitution and Standing Order 64(1)A and 66, this House resolves that the President dismisses the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi from the office of Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of the Constitution, violation of Articles 2 and 10(1)C of the Constitution. That the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed gross violation of these constitutional provisions by 1. Not undertaking public participation with leaders, stakeholders, or even departments within the ministry in the implementation of far-reaching policy decisions on the procurement and distribution of fertilizer, therefore violating the provisions of the Constitution on national values and principles of good governance, insofar as he acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to the recommendations of the National Cereals and Produce Board and agents in the ministry. And 2, approving procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board discloses a gross violation of national values and principles of good governance insofar as he acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Articles 10(1)B of the Constitution. B. Gross violation of Article 46 of the Constitution. That 1. Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to be in gross violation of this constitutional provision by 1. Infringing on consumers' rights to goods and services of reasonable quality and to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests by approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer, and 2, approving the budgets for procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, thereby violating consumers' rights to goods and services of reasonable quality and to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests as he approved the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Article 46 of the Constitution. C. Gross violation of Article 73 of the Constitution. That the conduct of 1. Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to be a gross violation of this constitutional provision insofar as the public trust was exercised in a manner that is inconsistent with the purposes and objects of the Constitution. He failed to demonstrate respect for the people, failed to bring honor to the nation, dignity to the office, and failed to promote public confidence in the integrity of the office contrary to Article 73(1)A, Roman 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Constitution. D. Gross violation of Article 201 of the Constitution. That 1. Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as a Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed a gross violation of this constitutional provision by approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board. This amounts to a gross violation of the principles on public finance insofar as public money is concerned and that public money was not applied in a prudent and responsible way when he approved the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Article 201(d) of the Constitution. E. Gross violation of Article 232 of the Constitution. That the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed a gross violation of this constitutional provision, where he outlined in his written submission as a response to the fertilizer subsidy program to the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock, misleading information that the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, signed an agent's agreement with 51 Capital Africa diatomites Industries on 31st March 2022 for supply and distribution of GPC diatomaceous for its commercial function, and that the product was not sold as a chemical fertilizer but as a soil conditioner, violating the values and principles of public service duty to use resource efficiently, effectively, and economically contrary to Article 232 of the Constitution. 2, serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law. A, serious reasons for believing the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under Section 100 and 101 of the Penal Code, Cap 63, that one Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, issued a directive of officials of KELS Chemicals to attend a press conference and issue a statement from the National Cereals and Produce Board. His subsequent closure of the factory and declaration of it as a crime scene due to the company's refusal to participate in the staged press conference discloses grounds that there are serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law, including but not limited to offenses involving abuse of office and false claims by a person employed in the public service, contrary to Section 100 and 101 of the Penal Code, Cap 63. Order. B, serious reasons for believing the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under Section 353 and 355 of the Penal Code, Cap 63, that one Franklin Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, is currently under investigation by the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Director of Criminal Investigations, and is facing arrest, charging, prosecution, and institution of criminal proceedings in relation to 6 pending civil, commercial, and family suits. This discloses grounds that there are serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law, including but not limited to offenses involving uttering false documents and procuring execution of documents by false pretenses, contrary to Section 353 and 355 of the Penal Code, Cap 63. 3, gross misconduct, that one Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, by approving procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, insofar as being a state officer, 1, has failed to exercise public trust in the best interest of the people of Kenya, and this amounts to gross misconduct contrary to Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. 2, has failed in the performance of his duties to the best of his ability to carry out the duties of the office efficiently and honestly, and to carry out the duties in a transparent and accountable manner, and this amounts to gross misconduct contrary to Sections 10A and B of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. 3, has failed to demonstrate professionalism in carrying out duties of the office in a manner that maintains public confidence in the integrity of the office, and this amounts to gross misconduct contrary to Section 11A of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. 4, misled the public by submitting false information to a departmental committee of the National Assembly that GPC diatomaceous was distributed as a soil conditioner, not as a fertilizer, and this amounts to gross misconduct contrary to Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. Members who signed to the motion are 110, and their list is attached to the motion. Majority Leader. Who has a point of order? Owen Bayer.